Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Winklerverse. I'm Bart Winkler. It is Monday night, the 2nd of March, coming to you a second time today as we have a Bucks post game to wrap our heads around. Again, I'm Bart Winkler. I will throw the link out if anybody wants to join at some point in these proceedings. I may fall asleep during this. It's been a long day. And Barty tie, that means tired. And we are going to take a little bit of a gummy, possibly 2, 3, and we are going to go to bed after this. So very excited for that, but also excited to chop it up with you and bitch about a basketball team as we clearly have bigger things. I'm thinking of saying like clearly have bigger things to worry about. Yeah, I'm on my phone the entire day watching it all. Okay, so sports-wise, Doc Rivers is trash. This is what we need to figure out. Why is he still here? I mentioned that, I think, with Carlos today or maybe last night. I was talking about the show Traders, and you get eliminated, you get murdered. Are you a faithful or are you a traitor? So Doc's clearly a traitor, but they ask themselves, why have I not been killed yet? Why are people have the ability to keep them in the game if they want to, just like with alliances and reality shows. You want to keep somebody in the game that either brings more heat on themselves or is someone who will support you, an ally. So what's the deal with Doc? What's the deal with Doc? And the reason why the Doc Rivers, I think, employment is so puzzling to me is the fan base, and I'm not coming at the fan base because this is where I am. It's an exercise in futility. At least when you bitch about, LaFleur, there was a possibility that they may move on to a new coach, and they didn't. And there's discussions we can have and will have and have had about that. But with the Bucks, I don't know. Doc's like in the way. I think if you asked any Bucks fan, any, what's one thing? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tweet this, and we're going to run a little experiment. What's one thing you would change about the Milwaukee Bucks? And I'm only tweeting that now because I want to see what percentage of people are going to say Doc Rivers. What percentage of people are going to say Doc Rivers? If I could change one thing about the Bucks. Now, I've left this open. You can say I would change that's not, did you hear that? That's not a fart. I'm sitting on these things. I'm getting worried because I'm guesting on other shows and I can't be like, oh, it's not a fart. It's this thing I'm sitting on from the Brewers. I'm having a problem with my ass. Would you like more updates on that? I've been talking about my ass a lot. My ass hurts. It hurts. So what's one thing you would change about the Milwaukee Bucks? I don't know anyone that would not say Doc Rivers. And that is the experiment. I don't know what else you could add. Even if there was another thing that was glaring and obvious. Doc's first. I'd like for Giannis to not be so non-committal. Would you? Yeah, me too. Would you rather have that or fire Doc? I'd like for Bobby Portis to play more consistent. Okay. Don't you want to fire Doc, though, ahead of that? I don't want Jimmy Haslam having anything to do with this team. Yeah, well, I don't want Doc here. And so what I was saying about the fans is a lot of times fan bases will really be pitchforks and tiki torches coming down the street like it's the Simpsons. But with Doc, it is an exercise in futility. He's not getting fired. He is not getting fired. One thing I was talking about with David Shepard today on the Sirius XM NBA postgame show which I may actually be on right now as we taped it earlier. One thing that I said to him was, I remember a day. I don't remember why. I don't remember what. I don't remember who, but I was covering the Bucks at the stadium, and Jason Kidd was the coach, and they lost, and it was a bad loss. And I think something was going on with Jabari at the time, or maybe Greg Monroe. Remember when he benched Monroe for like no reason? But then Jabari was in his doghouse too. That kind of shit sucked. See, Jason Kidd is not an ideal coach for me, but he is better in Dallas than he's been in Milwaukee, which is what happens when you hire guys right away. I know they know a lot of basketball, but there's certain things to coaching that you have to figure out too. And I don't know that Jason Kidd ever did. I think, he learned from some of the stuff he did here. It just sucks that we had to be the testing ground for some of the ways that Jason Kidd would eventually coach. But there was a game, and we didn't know what was happening because Kidd's supposed to talk right away. This, I think, had to be at the Bradley Center. Yeah, the layout of the room. Oh, yeah. So he came in, or he was supposed to come into the room where he does his press conferences after. He didn't come in. He didn't come in for like a long time. And we had thought, with how bad the game went, that Jason Kidd was going to get fired that day. It felt like, when you're somewhere and you're like, I feel like something's going on. It felt like that day Jason Kidd was being fired. But then he showed up like an hour and 10 minutes later, which, great. I got text coming in. Where's the Kidd audio for the post-game show? We're trying to wrap up. Yeah, great. I'm trying to fucking get it. He ain't talking. I think he might have been fired. Oh, no, here he comes. I say that because Doc's had 12 of those games this year. 12 of them. When they got blown out a couple of times, a couple months ago, I thought one of those at least would do it. But it's not going to happen, at least not in the season. And this is what's so frustrating for me is, and I don't even need to be like, because I'm the fire LaFleur guy. I don't need to be the fire Doc guy. And I think that's a mantle that everyone's carrying anyway. So I'll just like, you ever have those group projects where you're like carrying something, or even if you're helping a friend move and you like put your hand on the couch? Oh yeah, I'm helping. You ain't doing shit. That is what I'm doing with the Doc stuff. I'll help you, but you guys have already done the heavy lifting. And I'm not like, he needs to get fired. It doesn't make a lot of sense right now, unless you go on like some, really what it would be is like a Ned Yost, Dale Swaim sort of thing. So unless you can think, I'm gonna tweet a picture of that too. Unless you can think that Dale Swaim can be or Darvin Ham can be the Dale Swaim. I'm tweeting that now so no one steals it. Darvin Ham needs to be the Dale Swaim to Doc Rivers, Ned Yost. Now let's make sure I spelled Dale. Remember when Dale Swaim, I thought he was going to be like a manager forever. Now he did go manage in some other places. We always had a trading card. Oh yeah, he went to the Cubs. Oh yeah. And we didn't care. But that's because he didn't, pretend to be one of us his whole fucking life. Oh, yeah, I tweeted that out. Darvin Ham needs to be the Dale Swaim to Doc Rivers, Ned Yost. I had to get it out. What's one thing you would change about the Milwaukee Bucks? Doc. Fire Doc. Add players who are defensive and rebounding minded. This team just hopes they are making their shots, and if not, they get ran off the floor. The mid-range tweets, the fucking culture, it sucks. Coaching staff are all fireable. Body language tonight was terrible, and that's with Giannis returning. So let me wrap up the Doc point. The doc point is, I'm going to read some of these comments and I'll throw the link out if you guys want to come in. The doc point is that I don't need him to be fired, but I need some sort of signal that they're aware he's not good. And we're not getting that. And even when and maybe the problem is he's so fireable that there is no discourse from us. Because if I say Matt LaFleur should be fired, I've got an army of people coming after me telling me to fuck off. But that's the other thing too. I can't compare the Packers to the Bucks. Because if I want the Packers coach to be fired, and I say that, I'm dealing with Packer fans. I think we can agree there's more Packer fans than there are Bucks fans. Probably. But Bucks fans, there's a lot of Bucks there's a lot of Bucks fans that are like, yeah, I like the Bucks. People that are watching this though, or listening to Justin or Trey, or when Marzion does one, or when Sparky's got something cooking, those people watched the game. I'm probably the one who watched the least amount of the game tonight. I was trying to watch on my phone while that goldfish. Thought Giannis might be there. Forgot he was playing. Where I see him swim. So I'm watching the game, and it's like, I turned it on. They're already down 20. It was in the second quarter. But when you yell about that with LaFleur, people are going to flamethrower, fire back at you. With the Bucks, they're not. Because no one wants to keep Doc. You don't even have people like doing it as a bit. Some people think, oh, you're too hard on LaFleur. Is it a bit? No, it's not. But it could be. It could be. I'm getting a lot of attention for my thoughts. Could be. But there's nobody even doing that with Doc. So there's no oxygen. There's no fire. There's oxygen being spewed because I'm saying fire LaFleur and other people. And then other people are as well. But then we're countered with no, but it's fire. It's sparks. It's leading oxygen. Okay? There's no oxygen to this because no one's fighting back. So we almost need to take it upon ourselves. Maybe it's the whole Winklerverse. It can't be just me. But we need to start. We can make bots. Let's just make bots. I'll make it like a bot app or something, or like a non-account. Because we need somebody that is going to loudly fight for Doc, only so that we can loudly fight against him. Jake, I'm watching it tomorrow, dude. And I don't like him. He didn't do anything. No. We need a two-party system, this thing. Politics. GOP, Dems, a lot of the time, we think it's controlled opposition. Do we say that? From either side? That when the other side wins, then the side opposite of that, all they're trying to do is fundraise or whatever. We need a two-party system. We're all in agreement that Doc should be fired. And the Bucks don't care. We need somebody loudly to argue against us so that we can more loudly argue back. And then that will create fire. There'll be more oxygen on it. It is a terrible strategy. There is some good in that truth there, I think. But for the most part, I do think that I'm gasping at plastic straws. All right, some comments from you guys. Reminder, the comments are coming in on our YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. And we are brought to you by Happy Place Hemp. Happy Place Hemp, The promo code is BART, 25% off each and every order at happyplacehemp.com. Again, I will be ingesting some gummies in a little bit. Oh, I did just see that somebody finally said, not Doc, Miles Turner is ass. Exciting. Happyplacehemp.com, promo code BART, Dan Shaney YouTube stream. And again, our friends at Carl's Place supporting the and the Carlos episodes. And tonight, and really every episode, they're great. They're great. They're all supporting all the time. So they are great. Jake says, Glenn Rivers killed Milwaukee basketball. Richard, doctor of dysfunction. Drop the baseline. Not pleased. Why is he still the coach? Maybe that's a little better. Drop to Tim. No reason to fire him yet. Already paying 3 coaches. Might as well wait till the end of the year. I believe Bud's done being paid. But even if that's true, even if it's 2 or 3, then don't hire him. Don't hire him. And I still don't understand why Doc took this job. Did Doc and Adrian Griffin have that big? We're going to sit back. Did they have that big of a relationship? Did they know each other that much? Because then Doc's like secretly consulting. And then he suggests the Bucks fire Griffin and hire him. Immediately says, I wouldn't wish this job on anybody. And then is complete ass as a coach. It's unbelievable. And I think that we're a little discouraged because it's not even about Doc not coaching this team, which still has a chance at stuff. But we don't think he's going to, we don't think he's going to be fired next year. I don't think that he's going to be fired this offseason. There seems to be no signs of that. Cam only got 11 minutes. Yeah, so what's the box look like tonight? Cam, 11 minutes. All right, here's our spark plug off the bench. That didn't work. They changed up the starters tonight. So with Giannis back, they sent Ryan Rollins to the bench. Jen got the start, 13 points for him. Miles Turner started, played 19 minutes. Kevin Porter Jr. didn't take a lot of shots. Giannis had 19, 11, and 2. He played 25 minutes. AJ Green started and was 0 for 3. AJ Green, I don't know. I feel like when AJ Green emerged, we thought he could be our Klay Thompson. I mean, AJ Green's not even like a Peyton Pritchard. AJ Green, what is he that the Celtics have? He's like a fucking, I don't know. He's a guy that needs to come off the bench, I think. Turner, that's not going great. Thanasis got in, yay. Pete Nance, 15 minutes. Playing well, knocking down some threes. Could have put him in sooner. Jericho Sims, I don't think he knows what his role is night to night. Gary Harris, Gary Trent. These guys getting a couple of minutes. Doc Rivers is coaching, like the way he's doing some of these rotations. We argued that Bud didn't make enough adjustments, that he was too connected to the lineup that he had. I would argue Doc Rivers makes too many adjustments. I would almost argue that Doc Rivers looks like every night he's got a group of kids he's never seen before, and he's going to figure out as they go who's going to get the playing time. You know, like if you're coaching I'm coaching 6-year-old kids in soccer, and I know their skill levels, and I try to see who's going to be paired well with each other and trying to get them to learn more. And, you know, maybe this one is not as good as this one, but put them together and they'll help teach each other, just kind of different things, finding chemistry and stuff. Even at 6, I'm not out there like dying to win. I just want these kids to get better, but I'm saying I know my kids. But if I were to guest coach another team, I guest ran a practice, or I guess coached a team not too long ago. I don't know any of the kids, but you have to learn as you go. And I feel like that's what Doc is doing. Like Doc doesn't know his players' strengths and weaknesses. And so he's trying to figure it out on the fly. It's very, very weird. Rock says Ryan Rollins has been an issue. Q points out that Giannis was a minus 16, worst of the starters. Brian's got an interesting comment. These guys were just figuring out how to play with Jang and Cam Thomas and Sims getting more minutes. Now Giannis comes back and it's back to square one. Giannis is great, but it's time he learns to play in the post and get ball movement instead of downhill. It's all a hot mess from top to bottom. Yeah. I would say that I don't trust Doc Rivers. There's been a lot of time without Giannis this year. Yeah. So the team has to figure out without him who's bringing the ball up, what plays are we running, all that stuff. They learn to get a chemistry, and now you got to work in Giannis. But it shouldn't be that hard. Dame and Giannis didn't work, right? But shouldn't that have worked pretty easily? How did that not work? That's going to be my question. We're going to have Bucks guys on. Here the next couple of weeks. How did that not work? Why can't it work? Typically, if you're good, or let's say the Bucks are good without Giannis. They're not, but let's say they are. And then they add Giannis. It's like, holy shit, we got Giannis. Like a team at the trade deadline. Oh my God, we got this guy. How do you plug him in? I don't know. You do. It's this guy. But then Giannis comes in, and yeah, it's like he's doing his thing. There's another team trying to do another thing, trying to work in other shit. I don't know, man. Justin says AJ Green is useless if he's not making threes. Gary Harris getting more minutes than Cam. Kuzma doesn't touch the floor. No identity whatsoever. Yeah, where the fuck was Kuz? Fuck happened out there tonight, Jake?
It was Bucks basketball. That's what happened out there tonight.
Where was Kuzma?
That I don't know, but I do think that based off of when I was see their interactions, I think Giannis really can't stand Kuzma. I just get that vibe. And really, I can see that too. Who could?
This is from, I don't know how to totally. I'm looking at some tweets, and I want to share them for the proper credit. This is from Alicia Torsky. We know this person. Yep, we are mutuals. Good. Doc's lineup adjustments with Giannis back sent his ascending young player to the bench. Gave AJ Green his fourth fewest minutes of the season. Gave Miles Turner his fewest minutes of the season. Did not play Kuzma, who's been solid. Gave the corpse of Gary Harris 13 minutes. Yeah. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, Doc, there's just no. We all agree that Doc should be fired. We have a movement, but no one. I don't know. Maybe we don't have a movement.
I don't think so.
With fire Jason Kidd, I mean, that was white hot.
Yeah, I think back then the Bucks hadn't won a title. We had this budding superstar in Giannis, and there was actual passion. And I think since the title, and it's been a gradual decline, the apathy is really just starting to set in, where people just kind of are just like a.
That was the end of your sentence?
Well, sure, I could keep going. You brought up.
I thought. What was the last word you said?
I said,
Yeah, I thought that was like a
When I opened up the pod, by the way, you said ass, and my 8-year-old thought it was the funniest shit ever. So kudos on that. But yeah, you mentioned Damian Lillard, which was the main reason that I logged on here. The reason that didn't work, number one, is I think all NBA fans were sold a bill of goods with Damian Lillard. I think he has incredible PR. I don't think his impact has ever lent itself to being a top 75 player of all time. Based off of what I've seen, I think he's made some really, really memorable shots in his career. A few clutch shots, but outside of that, when you have someone who is not just doesn't contribute on one end of the floor, but is like actively a negative player on that end of the floor, and has to be a really, really high usage player to get the most you can out of him offensively. You add into the fact that he did not want to defer being the alpha to Giannis and vice versa. I think that's kind of where it was dead in the water.
I had a great point that I totally spaced on. It's very frustrating.
Fair enough.
It's about Doc Rivers.
Okay. Well, on Doc, while you try to catch up with that, I've got thoughts on Doc too.
God damn it.
I think you're right. You're this far into the season, and it still feels like he's in week 2 of the season where he's tinkering with lineups and let's see if this works, and we're going to get this guy some run. And it's really sad when you think about it. We're desperately hoping for a 10 seed in the conference with a top 3 player in the world on the team. It just shows you how far you've come. And the initial question that you asked, like, what's one thing you would change? I think it's so far beyond Doc. Doc is just like a product of like the system. So I think to me, it's more John Horst. I want to get a well-respected, up-and-coming, young GM that can put their stamp on the team and rebuild. They really do just need to pull the plug on this thing. Giannis, it'd be nice to think of him as a one franchise player, but the timelines don't match up. It's best for him and for the Bucks to move on. It's just really hard to do because of how much he's meant. But they're not going to be competitive until he's past his prime. I think he's got a couple years left in his athletic prime here, and the Bucks are not a year away. They're not 2 years away. They need to just completely pull the plug. And going back to John Horst, he's a guy that he's done well in making the big splash moves. But when you're the worst drafting team, maybe of any sport of the last 30 years or so, that's where you get your cheap talent. That's where you get those emerging players. And that really you need to build that as your foundation. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Maybe if you're a team like the Miami Heat and you can just, or the Lakers, where you just are gifted players and you're gifted these core pieces, then maybe you don't need to necessarily draft well or even have draft picks. But a team like Milwaukee, it's just, I mean, what have they drafted a single first round player that ended up being a long-term starter for them in the Giannis era? I don't think they have.
No, and then you have other guys like I hate when I see like even if it's not great, like Mamu Keshvili does well, and then like this AJ Johnson isn't the worst guy in the world. It's like, why do you even draft? Why do you even
Sam
have
Merrill.
anybody in here?
Sam Merrill's another one. Yeah, it's weird that
I'd much rather have Merrill than Green.
they're very similar players, and that's not just based on how they look. But yeah, it is odd that sometimes they'll take a guy that ends up showing something, but it's never with us.
Everyone thinks I'm high right now. I didn't take any gummies
yet. But also, like, it's funny when I think about the draft and like everybody will be like, "Oh, I could have drafted better than they have," but that's actually true. Like, if you took any like NBA draft expert guy and just took like his best available player for like every Bucks draft of the last 15, 20 years, you're going to have such an incredibly better team than what they would have ended up with. It's like maybe they have that thing where we want to be the smartest guy in the room. The AJ Johnson pick was that. The Marjon Beauchamp pick was that. Like, I'm going to like Von Maker, perfect example. Consensus says this, but we're going to look smart. It worked with Giannis, so maybe we'll strike gold twice. I really don't know.
I remember what I was going to say.
Yes.
You're kidding me. I just fucking forgot it again. I just had it.
Thank you for stopping into the Winklerverse.
Oh, I got it. It's not that.
It's not
even that good. Do you know when I knew the Bucks were going to lose today?
When you saw that they were playing Boston?
No, I saw that Giannis was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to I don't know why. But I went to check like the RotoWire lineups or something, and I saw Jaylen Brown was out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh fuck, we're gonna lose.
4 white dudes in the lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna lose
no
this
shot.
game. Trade says this might be it, man. Rivers wants to be fired, and he's still trying to get fired, but they're gonna make him sit in his shit until next year. How about this? J Hall, I'm done with Giannis. Dude's a spoiled brat. Can't wait to trade him. I think here's what I think. Giannis is back now. You have come back. Last night, I didn't think he was coming back at all in March. And then the next day, boom, March. He's back. If Giannis doesn't come back for a little bit, these guys play it out in March. And then he comes back and they're like 2 games back. And then he puts, now he's focused, motivated. I think it's a different like play and situation than if Giannis comes back, which he did, and they play these next 5 weeks and they're not any better. Like the Q rating, as they call it, for Giannis will dip. People will start to say more things like that. I know you've been harder on Giannis than anybody I know. I get it. I think that we are getting to a point. Have you made a Rodgers comparison? I feel you have.
Oh, yes. And it's the end of the line.
It's just like this needs to not be. It's not working the way it is. Giannis and the Bucks can still work, but right now it feels like Giannis is just making cameo appearances. I got it. Giannis is Paul Rudd on Friends right now. This is not his group of guys.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd should be out with Seth Rogen and Steve Carell and the guys in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Okay. Sure. Paul Rudd's on Friends. No, Friends is Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. and Jericho Sims and, Bobby Portis. It feels like he's in someone else's show. I don't see them playing. You take Giannis out and that team can play a certain way. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I don't think the best version of the team without Giannis and then Giannis, I don't think there's a merger there. I don't think it fits. Let me tell you about a girl once. This is prior to my wife.
Was this the Mormon?
No.
Okay.
But we had some things in common. We ran in the same circle. We were both single. We were both like of equal attractiveness. Okay? So picture that, whatever you think in your head.
I was going to say, people are running with this one already.
But it was always like group setting situations. And then we finally had some one-on-one time at a bar, but one-on-one time. It was like speaking 2 different languages, man. There was just nothing there. There was just no, like she didn't know if I was done talking. I don't know if she was. She didn't know if I was telling a joke. Me, a big yuckster. But there was nothing there. The chemistry you could tell right away, like, sometimes you're like, all right, they can build chemistry. No.
So you were Giannis and she was Dame.
Yeah. It was DOA, man.
Like on paper, it made sense. And then you see it live and it's just like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. On paper, it made a lot of sense. Shibadoo. Jerry says, shitty player usually don't play well with great players. Locked on Cavs said Bucks overplayed their hand at the deadline, not going to get as much from this summer.
I agree with that.
You do? No.
I just think of it from a standpoint of if you're trading for a guy, you want to win a title. Quiet, I'm on a podcast. You want to win a title.
Wyatt, I'm on a podcast.
Yeah. I got my 8 and your 10-year-old babbling about some.
Hey, you popped in. You're not eating. That's a huge W on this show.
For sure, but there's got to be something.
Thanks.
But no, I think if you're trading for
Shut
Giannis,
up!
you're trying to win a championship, right? So if you trade for him at this deadline, you get 2 opportunities at that for sure. You trade him in the offseason, you're getting 1 because like you don't know for sure.
They are going to get a lot more at the deadline. New picks are in play. They're going to get a lot more at the deadline. Or in the offseason.
Yeah, I guess I just disagree.
No.
I think if you have a master negotiator, you could have cleaned up at this trade deadline, because if you have a team like Oklahoma City that can make a trade for Giannis without giving up a single piece that's significant to them, just by virtue of the amount of stupid picks and assets they have, you get another team to believe that Oklahoma City's interested. All of a sudden, you're going to have multiple teams lining up because nobody wants to see them just dynasty their way to the next 3 or 4 titles.
I don't know, dude. I don't know that. I don't know that John Horst. I don't know where he is.
Nobody does, but I think it's just so sad. This season, we are gunning for the 10th spot. Every team below us is trying actively as hard as they can to lose.
Yeah,
and we can't figure it
out.
out.
The Bulls, who beat us last night,
top 3 player in the world. All you want is a top 10 seed in your conference, and you can't figure it out. That, my friends, is Doc Rivers.
Fuck.
Yeah. All right. Love you, buddy.
See you, bud. I'd take Jake. I threw up the link on StreamYard, and he jumped in. And that's how things go around here. I appreciate that. I'm going to play some voicemails that I got regarding the show. Later this week, tomorrow on Tuesday, I will have a Bucks-centric show on Wednesday. Might even do a Wednesday post. I'm cranking out the post. Thursday, we'll figure out a show on Thursday. Might not have a show on Friday. Electrician's going to be here. We got a little bit of a power situation. Jerry says, are you trying to say the team is sort of good without Giannis and he doesn't make them better, so he's the problem? No. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't think the team without him is like that good. So the team without him, the team without him is going to learn to play like a team. And they're going to then figure out, well, how do we cram Giannis in here? Because we weren't playing with him, and he's been like in and out of this lineup. We don't know when we're going to get him. And I think one of the major issues is when Giannis is here, obviously you acquiesce to him, but if he doesn't then take over a game, like if Giannis is going to come back, 25 minutes isn't going to be enough. So then maybe don't bring him back until he's ready to go 35. You know? Because then you're just going to trade says he's a chemistry wrecker. Even if the chemistry is not great. You take a group of friends. You know, you got five buddies you hang out with all the time. You then add one of them. Hey, my brother's coming on the trip. Hey, do you guys mind if I bring my wife's cousin on your poker trip or add him to the poker table? It like kills the vibe instantly. Then you got to feel him out. Can we say the same jokes around him that we say normally? Then he's not going to know our inside jokes. He's not going to know that when I look at him this way, I want him to go around the baseline, or I want him to set a screen or something. Because we've worked on that without him here. Yeah, I think that's an issue. I think the chemistry thing is an issue. And I also think it's an issue that I'm talking like this team is going to do anything. They don't have to play that well to just get the shitty playing spot. And they've lost 3 in a row while the Hornets are winning games. The Hawks are winning games. We see them Wednesday. You know what? Wednesday's going to be it. Wednesday's going to be it for me. Yeah, we'll do a post Wednesday. If they lose to the Hawks, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out for them to win anything in this. I want them to win games. I want to see what the play-in tournament's like as a fan. I want to experience that. I want to have fun with it. I just have fun with it. I want to. But you're 3.5. You're 3.5. You're 3.5 games back of the 10 seed. The fuck? All right, I got a couple voicemails. Again, voicemails are courtesy of Carl's Place. Carl's Place, man. Somebody needs to buy a golf simulator to I don't care who. Get your dad's, cousin's, friend's boss to do it. Because they are a huge supporter of this pod. And I know a lot of you guys have sent me pictures of, the gummies you buy with the 25% off, or, hey, I just switched to Dan Shaney. I don't know that anyone's installed a golf simulator yet. But if you do, I'll come and play around with you. What a promotion. All right, so voicemails, 402-915-BART. Yeah, I want you to find someone else. Or you could put it in, it's nice practice. I want to go golfing, for real, but I suck, so I need a simulator in my house. Would help. All right, here is Teacher Tom. Yes, it's that time of the year where he's Teacher Tom. Voicemail.
Hey, this is Teacher Tom, and I have 2 thoughts. One is for and the other is about conversation with Wicket and March Madness type pool about different radio personalities. And Bart was thinking that was when Bill was let go the following January. But no, that was in March of 2020 when all sports
That's right.
down.
That's right, because Chuck got released, or whatever we call it, and so did Billy, and they were still in the bracket, and it was very awkward. And so we had to scrap it. And a lot of times in radio, we don't be like, hey, guys, that bracket we were doing, Chuck and Billy, so we're not going to do the bracket anymore. You understand. It's just a little sensitive timing right now. But we don't do that. Fucking radio, man. Can I do a quick? I just need to change. This is like Jon Stewart camera change, and this is more of my basement. Fucking radio. Radio is run by a lot of people that make it harder to do your job. I'm not putting anybody specifically on blast. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying, in my experience, radio is a pretty easy thing to figure out. You put on the air what people want to listen to and make it good enough so they don't turn the channel. That's the gambit. But so many people in radio that make decisions overcomplicate it. My line has always been, radio is not as hard as it needs to be. People make it harder than it is. And it's pissing me off. And I am telling you right now, I want to run a radio station. I want to be a program director. I don't need a show. I just want to run it. Now, I'm not going to fire anyone. I hate firing people. I never have. I've been a program director before, and I needed to fire someone, and I just didn't do it. And they kept the job. I don't know. It wasn't that big of a deal. But what I'm saying is we should have just, with that bracket, we should have just said, hey, we know this is a little weird. We're going to end it. Maybe we'll pick it up again. We want to pick it up again. But what did we do? No one talk about it. We had this bracket that we advertised and spent a month on it. It's all over everything. We have bumpers. We spent half of our shows on it. It was a bracket, if you're not familiar, of every like WSSP personality ever. You know, we did our March Madness thing. It was fun. And it got a lot of old voices back and some friendly competition. And then some of the current hosts got laid off. So then we had to pretend like it never happened. How harmless is it to say, yeah, it's just not, it doesn't feel right. We're not going to do it. Instead, comments are coming in. Oh, don't answer. Why? Even when I took over, the first job that I took over as my first morning show job, I took over in Fond du Lac. And it was like, I took over for a guy who got fired, and the next day it was me. It was a morning duo. The guy got fired. The girl's like, I'm not working if this guy's not here. I like Bart, but I'm not doing it again. I'm not relearning chemistry. So I'm out too. So for like 8 years, it's the same duo on your radio station every morning taking you to work. Work. And then the next day, it's this fucking Bart guy that you don't know. And people are calling me like, where are they? And I'm like, what do you mean? They never exist. Yeah, what the fuck am I doing? People have questions. So that is where I do pay gratitude to how it went down at Infinity, because we had the opportunity to say goodbye. So, and I've always appreciated that. Both have their challenges, but man, okay, way off track. Jesus. Even I think I'm talking about myself too much. And this is what I'm doing. All right, so more from Tom. I don't know where we were. I got lost.
The following January, but no, that was in March of 2020 when all sports had shut down. Because Bart was upset that he was in the same racket as Matt Rodriguez, who'd been covering the Bucks for the Journal Sentinel. And Bart knew that Matt was going to win that bracket because Matt.
Oh, Velasquez.
And then and Bill Michaels was saying if he won, he was going to host a big party for everybody. But then that bracket got shut down the day that Chuck and Billy Schmidt was let go. And all of a sudden that bracket disappeared from the website. Second thing, so this is about the Packers season tickets. And what if the Packers doubled prices for people who sell their tickets to almost every game? That would go along with what Paul was thinking. If you price the tickets low, then people can sell them to make more money. So people who go to a majority of the games have their tickets stay at the same price. But if you start selling all your tickets or most of your tickets, then your ticket prices get jacked up. And then that gets rid of the incentive to sell because then you're not making money by selling. So I doubt, again, that's feasible, but it goes along with Paul's idea. Have a good one. Bye.
402-915-BART. That's Teacher Tom. He'll paint your house in the summer, too, if you need a painter. Get in touch. You know what the Packers should do? Or a team, maybe not the Packers, but a team. Remember that episode? Did anyone watch this when Conan O'Brien just had an audience of children? And he tried to do his show, but to an audience of kids. Especially some of these teams that are shitty and tanking. Some of these 2:30 games. Just give out tickets to kids. And just have the stadium full of kids. Obviously, they need chaperones, etc. But that's why I like some of these WNBA day games, and the Admirals do it, the Wave do it. There was a random ass hockey game on today. And I thought, oh, is that for kids? Apparently it's for like Europe to enjoy a game. What the fuck are we doing? That's I mean, America first. We gotta stop sending our fucking games overseas. It's bullshit. You know, this year is going to be the most impossible keep sports and politics separate year of all time. Got the World Baseball Classic starting this weekend. Good luck. But then again, a month ago, we were worried about Venezuela's team, and who said that sentence? And Iran's supposed to be at the World Cup. This is fucking March 2nd. God knows what shit's going to look like by March 4th. All right, David.
Hey, Bart, what's up? This is David from Buffalo. A couple pro wrestling takes for you as well, man. You know, I thought ESPN's going to put the first hour of WrestleMania on regular ESPN. Probably a good idea since the ticket sales have been horrendous and not that many people are interested in this year's WrestleMania. Very good idea by them to do that. I feel like definitely makes sense to get people to watch this. I think you have to put on a big match. So if you have Brock against Obafemi or something that really matters, that would be a good idea to get people to maybe possibly buy the app or whatever you need to do to watch these pay-per-views or whatever they're called nowadays. Few thoughts.
Point on that. Yeah. So WrestleMania, when it happens in the middle of April, an hour of each night is going to be on ESPN. WrestleMania is a nighttime show, but they do typically have like a pre-show, which, you know, people can start coming in and taking their seats and it gives people a shot. But that was a text. But they would also put that on TV. So even if you back in the day were going to not order a WWE pay-per-view, you could watch the hour pre-show on the channel that the pay-per-view was on. It was trying to entice you. It was like, hey, this is what you're going to get tonight. So I don't mind ESPN doing that. I don't think that the content will be that good. I don't think they should blow a Brock and Oba or something like that on that show. But also if you have just like Kit Wilson versus fucking El Grande Americano the third, that ain't gonna do shit. All right. Well, let's do the rest of the voicemail.
Off the Elimination Chamber. Number one, that Danhausen guy is a goof. I don't even know why you would want him in your promotion. That guy looks like a guy that should be wrestling in a bingo hall. A couple other thoughts. Pretty predictable that Orton or Rhodes would win. LA Knight, it seems like is going to be buried forever. Maybe he needs to if there's any way that LA Knight can go to AEW, I think I would do that if I were him, because I don't think he's ever going to get a shot. Javon Evans, I feel like, could jump to the moon, and he's just, he's going to put it all on the line, and who knows if it's going to lead to much. There really was, I guess CM Punk winning was predictable. Not a whole lot else, man. I mean, that's really about it. I mean, I don't see anything that's really interesting. I mean, is Reigns a heel again because he's shooting on the crowd? I don't know. It just doesn't really seem that interesting to me, honestly. It's I think they're going to have to really pull some real rabbits out of the hat at WrestleMania to make it interesting. Thanks for the time, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
No, it's good to get a little WWE on the program. I didn't know what that voicemail was, either of them. I saw I had two voicemails and I thought, I want to play them. But then I thought, tomorrow's I like to play them. The point is, if you're going to use the voicemail, I want to play it. And we started the voicemail because we wanted to find a way to get callers on. Because I always think that that's been a big hallmark of the shows I've done is the caller interaction, which now we've been able to with StreamYard figure out how to have a guy like Hot Take Jake on, and Mark the other night, Q, these guys that pop in. I just throw out the link and then they pop in. Might be able to chat up with one more person before we go. I'm expecting him, but if not, que sera, sera. Forrest says, the Bucks emailed me a lot because of how many games I go to. I told them I'm not spending another dollar on this team as long as Doc Rivers is the coach. This was 2 months ago, and they never responded. It does feel like Doc is like in bubble wrap almost. Like he's Bubble Boy. The Moops. There's not even like talk or conversation. It's just so weird. It's so fucking weird. Finally making his way back into the Winklerverse. It's Tim Shea.
Hello, Bart.
Tim, can I tell you something?
Go ahead. Tell me.
My ass hurts
Okay.
so badly.
And that's my fault?
It's nothing but, it's not butthole. But it's like above. So it's not like a hemorrhoid or a poop thing. I think it's my tailbone. I can't sit.
Oh, boy.
I
What
started
did you-
driving with one of those donuts. I need it down here. Oh, fuck.
What did you do?
I don't know.
Were you out late one night this past weekend?
No, I was well behaved, but this has been bothering me for a long time.
It's called old age, Bart.
Can I tell you something? I think I said this earlier today to Carlos. I told my wife I said the middle class is dead. And she said, yeah. I go, no, not like that. I mean, like Bart middle class is dead.
Oh,
Like you're never going to get normal low key Bart anymore. I'm either down in the dumps, fuck this, or in as in a good mood as I've ever been. That's probably like, I'll probably die soon if I live that way.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. ... Yeah. Yeah. Let's get the gravestone ready for you.
Yes, please.
What's wrong with the Bucks?
I don't know. The funny part is I don't watch them anymore. I don't have their channel. It's blacked out now here or on my cable package. So
Oh yeah, I did fall on ice. Jay said, didn't you fall on ice?
that was a couple months ago, though.
No, I fell on ice, but I also fell again 2 days ago.
Doing on ice?
On Saturday, I fell 3 times. I fell playing basketball with my kid because the salt.
He crossed over.
Yeah, he did a hezzy on me.
Okay.
But I slipped there, and then I fell. I was playing kickball inside at a party with my kid. Fell.
And then,
Yeah, but I don't know. This has been bothering me for a while. My butt is hurt whenever I would sit down here. So I changed the chair I'm in. Whatever. I did have something else I want to ask you. Am I going to be able to watch the Brewers on TV or what?
Yeah, they'll announce the channel soon, hopefully. Well, they will. Not hopefully. They will be. It just depends what channel and what cable providers have it. And if you don't have it, then you got to go spend that $99.
So I have DirecTV. I've had FanDuel the whole time in
Right.
Bally's. I'm assuming I'll still get it.
I don't know if DirecTV is going to have it.
Why?
I don't think that's one of the bigger ones in Milwaukee. I think the two biggest, cable.
Yeah, but DirecTV's had it and Spectrum hasn't this whole time.
Yeah, I think the two biggest cable providers in this market are AT&T and Spectrum.
Cable's such a fucking racket. I mean, cable itself is great, and I'll die for cable. But the way that you can only have now, you forget I used to work at Charter, which turned into Spectrum or gobbled up into it because it was Time Warner Cable and Spectrum, and they merged, I believe. And like, if you're in a town, you can only get one cable. Why can't I get Verizon Fios? Because that's not the cable lines that you get. Uverse was different somehow because of fiber. Uverse was able to be like, oh, we can actually give you TV.
More importantly, what's going to happen to the Bucks on their TV?
Yeah, well, they're dog shit, so no one's gonna want to air them.
Well, no one's gonna want them anyway, but
They could go back to WMLW Mains Milwaukee.
I actually worked yesterday's Bucks game over at the
flagship.
Thank you. Justin says hello, by the way. And
Good. I think I'm gonna talk to him on here soon.
that was pathetic.
Yeah, he can answer all my questions.
I'm sorry, I can't answer. What's happening to you? You're getting fucking old, Bart. Okay, there. You want the question?
I meant about the Bucks, jackass.
Oh. Dude, they're not a good team. They're not coached well. They're why is Giannis playing too?
Dude, you got to see this DraftKings.
I answer it, and then you just go right off to right field. Speaking of right field, are we going to meet up at the ballpark soon?
Here's my lineup I played.
I
forgot to set one. $18 down the drain.
Hey, you want to play fantasy baseball this year?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll get you set up.
How much?
100.
Honey. Tim, Pato didn't even give us a fucking chance the other night.
What were you playing?
Slots and then roulette.
Play your
Video roulette.
Video roulette. What were you betting? Like 75 cents spin?
No, we put a bunch of. We're doing like $20 spins with like different numbers all over.
All right.
And it's got multipliers.
Yeah.
But then we played blackjack, and this motherfucker's so stone cold faced, like he enjoyed us losing, and he was still dealing us 19s and shit.
That's when you know you need to go.
Shouldn't they be more profitable by letting people win more?
Well, I mean, they're not trying. Blackjack's another game of luck.
But the slots.
Yeah, the slots. I don't know. I don't like going on weekend nights because I feel like they tighten up.
Well, they do.
You got to go like a Sunday morning at like 8:30.
That's what this guy just said. He says go at 4 a.m. when the machines restart.
Pretty much. Let everyone from the night spend their money and then go in there. I just saw someone win $5,000 at a bar.
A bar?
Yes.
Did they pay?
Yeah, they paid the next day, but they got it within 24 hours.
I went to lacrosse once when I was like 19. No, I was out of college, so I might have been like 23, and I didn't really I wasn't making a ton of money, and I won $330 on a slot at Who's on Third, and they're like, "We can't pay you tonight. Come back tomorrow at 4." I said, "I'm leaving. I'm going back to home. I'm going home." And they'll say, "We'll send you a check." I go, "The fuck you will." But they did.
They sent you a check?
Yeah, I gave them their address. They sent me a check.
Are you going to opening day?
I don't have plans to.
Okay.
I would have to juggle some things. I would be down to go to like opening day to tailgate and do some content stuff and then not go to the game.
What about going up to the bars and doing some content stuff? That's where I'll be.
I'd rather walk around like I've done in the past.
I know, in the parking lot. You're really not going to be at opening day, huh?
I don't know. I'm in the ticket buying business now and not the press going business.
You are talking to a season seat member now, too.
What package?
20 game pack.
Pick your games?
We're up in the upper deck.
And why'd you do it?
Opening day plus. Oh, we're upper deck like second row.
Why did you get season tickets though?
Just something to do. Go to have those games, to go to. Me and my father.
How much a game are you paying?
It comes out to be $24 a ticket, so $48 a game.
Do you think you could get cheaper if you just bought day of?
Sometimes, sure. But we're going to get some cool giveaways, dice set, magnet schedule. I don't know what else. I got to look.
Yeah. All right. Well, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Bart.
You want to hang out soon?
Yeah, March Madness. I'll be at Potawatomi. We got one of those tables for the night session on Thursday.
Yeah. Guess when parent-teacher conferences are?
Ooh. Little Bart doesn't. He's good. I'll tell you what. You guys will walk in and little Barty's really good. And
What is going through these administrators' heads to give them days off of school on the first 2 days of March Madness? But I will watch it with my kid because he loves brackets and all that kind of shit. So
you said that
he doesn't even know about March Madness yet. He is gonna go fucking crazy.
Yeah. When are you gonna tell him? Like when the Big Ten? I'll be at the Big Ten tournament next week.
Vacation.
I got credentialed.
Are you gonna do any work?
No. Yeah, of course.
All right, I need to go to bed.
Thank you, Blue Wire.
You did? Did you?
No.
My eyes pop on him. You did?
I saw your eyes.
Did you?
I'll send you a photo next week.
Through your credential through the pod?
No.
I've only tried to get credentialed through the pod. Well, Milwaukee's hooked me up, the Panthers, but I tried to get credentialed for the Packers for the shareholders meeting because I wanted to go down on the field. And they said no.
You could have used my credential that was just sitting at Lambeau Field for a year after we got axed. Remember?
What? So that was some prop comedy that failed because
That was awful.
now there's water everywhere.
I was about to say,
More of it got on my computer than I wanted. All right. On Tuesday, I'm cleaning this shit up. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Tim, Jake. Thanks for stopping into the Winklerverse. God damn it.